we just can cannot omit the fact that it's the culture is very geared towards family traditions and festivities. A
Okay.
lot of with that, with this tradition and family uh, values, you would it's fair to say a lot of life revolves around the kitchen and eating together.
I kind of wanted to start with what is Brazilian culture like? What was it like
Oh
to grow
wow.
up in Brazil too? So that's two
Uh-huh.
questions for you right off the bat.
All right. Well, I grew up in the south of Brazil, in the southernmost state, and at a small town. So
Okay.
that's two important pieces of information because there is a very clear European influence in south of Brazil, sorry,
Mhm.
and also in my region, most settlers were from Germany.
Mhm.
So growing up in a place like this is pretty much a lot of culture. You have a lot of festivities, around holidays and different celebrations. And when you mix that with other regions of Brazil, where, for example, you have Carnival,
Mhm.
which is a staple of Brazilian culture, I would say, because it lasts not one day, as the holiday indicates, but at least for an entire week,
Mhm.
give or take, sometimes even more, because you would have many groups, we call them schools,
Okay.
who would rehearse for months and months and months a special song that they will present down the avenue with their
Mhm.
parade,
Yeah.
and they will also take months and months and months producing the costumes and the decorations that go in the cars. And it's such the state of art is that it's in Rio de Janeiro, for example, where
Mhm.
the most famous carnival happens.
Yeah.
It's multi-million uh, dollar, I can say, industry. It's just so much involved. It's real show business. With in Rio, schools might have like several thousands of people parading down the avenue, and
Wow.
it's competitive. There
Mhm.
are leagues even. So of course that's in very big cities, and but also in small towns we would celebrate that. It's just gonna be toned down,
Yeah.
but sort of trying to mimic, so and that's in at the end of February, when we are under summer in the southern
Yes.
hemisphere.
Yeah.
So it's basically these things happen. You know that in December, school will be over. You'll you'll pass or you won't, and then you'll have summer vacations for 3 months, basically, with Carnival at the
Wow.
very end. So there, it's part of the culture to sort of look forward to December, because you also have Christmas, right, and New Year's. So
Yeah.
that's all of that. You passed school, you just started vacations, and then it's Christmas, and you get gifts, and you get to meet all your cousins and friends. And New Year's, you usually travel on vacation, and we have, you know, the Atlantic Ocean there with a huge coastal line, and
Mhm.
sometimes we'll travel to the beach, which is very, very common. Sometimes not to the beach, sometimes to, if you can afford to travel to different countries, but you would have stories to tell after this huge summer. And this is definitely part of the culture that we just cannot omit the fact that it's the culture is very geared towards family traditions and festivities. A
Okay.
lot of with that, with this tradition and family. uh, values, you would. It's fair to say a lot of life revolves around the kitchen and eating together, and that's how you also pass down traditions
Yeah.
and costumes, behaviors, and I guess that's pretty much what about Brazil, right? And a lot of outgoing people
Mhm.
who love to host other people and who love to get together uh, outside and step. When you find someone, you will spend 3 minutes, 5 minutes talking to them about what's going on, and you will discuss some news, and then you'll continue with your business wherever you were going to.
Yeah.
So very friendly, but I also have to say very hardworking, because it's such a huge country, and so many settlers from different countries travel there. It was, as we say, discovered
Yeah.
in the 16th century, uh, and it's got its independence in
Mhm.
the early 19th century, and we had all waves of development, with the farms, mainly at the beginning, all the uh, resources of nature.
Yeah.
And then you have the factories, and now it's just internet innovation and technology business everywhere, and making businesses change so you can go to deep country, visit touristic ecological farms with all uh, infrastructure design and tools that you will find in different countries or huge centers. So things are changing definitely and
Mhm.
quickly. We're all now uh, part of a, I think, a global or at least Western culture, right? With all I think this is also part of growing up in Brazil. You receive a lot of North American culture, especially from the USA and from Hollywood. The movies and music. So
Mhm.
there's also that's
Yeah.
huge in maybe not only Brazil, maybe Latin America as a whole. I didn't say soccer is also super strong. It's the most popular sport,
Yeah.
and it's just everybody, give or take, is a fan
Yeah.
in different intensities. But we had a tradition of having a winning team, world team,
Mhm.